We're going to start here in just a second. Yes, we're still doing the puppy thing. Yes, he's still complicating my life. But we're getting there. Andy's hoping that he stays calm for the live because he is actually sitting on Andy's lap right now. So hopefully he'll stay there and not want his mom, because apparently he likes his mother and likes to follow me around. You know how well that's going. All right. You ready to get started? Wait, I dropped my earpiece. Hold on. Ready to get started, babe? Okay. So we're just waiting for everything to connect here. It looks like Twitch connected. And looks like, oh, everybody just connected. Cool. Give it a second. It is Wednesday, September 29th. It's still week 80. Yay! I don't know. Week 80 seems like a big number. And we are doing UFO Wednesday. And we are continuing with Pam's project today. For those of you who are just joining us for the first time, I am simulcasting on 4 channels. So we are on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Facebook. So if you're ever watching and you're wondering where the questions are coming from, it could be from one of the other channels, and Andy's relaying it to me in my ear. So Andy's always with me, of course, which is really great, and because I can't always see your questions, and definitely I can't see your names, so that's why we don't mention names, because I don't see names. Anyway, you come over as a user. Isn't that great? So that said, UFO Wednesday, it's when people are submitting their UFO projects, unfinished objects that need a little bit of love, or they didn't finish for one reason or another, or that they just needed some inspiration or just wanted me to do it. I can do that too. And along the way, there's a lot to be had and a lot to learn. So what are we doing today? We have Pam's project. We have her beautiful piece of opal here, somewhat raw. And we've created a setting for it last week, and we were unable to finish it last week. It sort of ran out of time. You know, I try to keep these things between 45 minutes and an hour, not dragging it out or anything. But we created these little prongs for the piece, and we were, oh, I forgot my pliers again. Eeks, hold on. I knew there was a reason why I went upstairs. It wasn't to see the puppy, but apparently I went upstairs to see the puppy and took my pliers with me. I had it in my hands. Sorry, I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Again, had the pliers in my hands, went upstairs, saw the puppy, and sort of left it somewhere, so I had to look for him. All right, that said, here we are. So there we are, and what do we do? Oh, okay, so first things first. So the prongs wouldn't bend over easily, so we're going to have to approach it a slightly different way to get them to bend over. But before we do that, I was looking at this piece a little bit closer and wanted to just address some of the polishing issues on there and take a little bit extra time to give it, to kiss it with a little bit of love. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my, what do you call this? Bristle brushes, the 3M Radial Brushes, right? These are great if you have them. They're quite expensive, but they're really nice. So we can go in there. I already brushed it last week with a brass brush, but I think this might do a better job at it. So let's see. So this might help me get in there to clean up on the inside. So you know, when you're polishing and doing finishing, it's going to take whatever it takes to get you there. So You got to look at your equipment and your tools to see what's working out well. And if this doesn't work out, then I just move on to something else. That's all. Pretty simple and straightforward. But what's nice is this can get into the little spots in between the prongs. That's what I'm looking for right now, is I'm trying to clean up these prongs. Just a little bit, because you know what? I don't really want to clean them up too much after it's on the stone, because the opal is a little bit on the soft side and I don't want to scratch it at all. So I'm going to try to just sort of finish it here. Not doing a great job, so I'm going to hit it with something else. Okay, something a little bit more aggressive, maybe. Let's see if I can get anywhere with this one. This is also a brass brush of sorts, slightly different. It's an end brush. Oh yeah, this is a little bit nicer. But again, not quite where I want it to be. Still gonna hit everything since it's already on there. I got the prongs a little bit, oh yeah, that's nice, okay. I got the prongs a little bit dirty with the Sharpie, and I want to get that off. Okay, but this brush is still not getting into the tiny little corners. I'm gonna try one more thing here and see if I can get really into this tight little corners. So we're gonna try a wheel. It could be that my radial bristle brushes were, they might be dead. I might need to replace them, but. Okay, so this is getting really nice, you see, into those prongs. Just a little more cleanup. Okay. So I'm going to clean this up only to make it yucky again. I know. You're going to be like, what? You'll see here in a second. Okay, so much happier. I'm going to hit the back side too, just to get a little bit shined up. Pam can do a little bit extra cleaning back there if she wants to. Could use a little tiny bit of sanding. Okay, so here I need to mark my prongs to see where I'm going to saw. So what I'm going to do, because I couldn't bend it, I'm going to saw a notch in each one of these prongs to help it bend over. And you know, it's really hard to see this stuff, so here's a trick for you. You're going to take out a Sharpie and we're just going to color, you see that, the inside of each prong. You'll see why in a second. Okay. There we are. Okay, so now that you've marked the inside of each prong, let's try that. And we're going to put this down. Cool. Nice and flat. We're going to take out a awl, or a scribe works too. And we're going to scribe it. Okay. So you can see, like right there. Can you see that? Let me see. A little bit tighter for you. There we go. Right there, where the stone meets the prong, I'm going to score it. And by having the Sharpie there, you're basically scratching the surface, and now you can see where your scratch is. Can you see that teeny weeny little bit? Okay, it's a lot easier to see if you have marked it with the Sharpie than if you don't. Okay, so I'm going to keep going around. We'll do it on all of the prongs. This one's way low. Eddie tells me he's snoring upstairs. It's so funny. I was watching the puppy snore. It's like a baby snoring. It makes me laugh. Okay, so now I'm going to gently Let's see. How do I want to hold this? I'm going to put it right there. And you should probably put this on a bench pin, right? And I'm going to just notch it. And I'm not worried about cutting my fingers because I'm keeping the saw blade on the prong. Okay. Okay. Should only take a couple strokes because, you know what, these prongs were pretty, well, they're thin. I mean, they're not crazy thin, but still, you're talking about wire, right? What did we use the other day? We used probably 16, 18 gauge wire, square wire. There we go. And I'm really only applying pressure on the wire, so I'm not worried at all about cutting my fingers. If you are, see, nothing. If you are, grab some super grip gloves. Those are nice. I know, you know what? In honor of Pam, Pam always reminds me to use my gloves, and since this is her project, I will put on a pair of gloves. Okay. There we are. So there we are. And I'm going to go about halfway through. You don't want to go too far. Okay. And I'm using a slightly heavier saw blade. There we go. Okay. It's going to take a little time to do this. You want to take your time. So how is your weather out there? Because our weather, after a really miserable last week, has become really nice. And it's a beautiful fall day. And it's making me so happy that I sat out on the deck this morning to do a little work. So Deb just made a comment that apparently she is Murphy's Law and she's happy that I put on my gloves. Oh, that's funny. That's very funny. You know what, doing this on a bench pin would have been a little bit easier, but you know, I didn't even think about it and I didn't set up the other camera, so I'm like, okay, you know, we'll just do it this way. And honestly, if I was doing this without a camera on, the real question is, would I have actually taken out my bench pin? I know, it's only 12 inches away and I'm too lazy to go get it. It's totally crazy. Not completely clear I would have pulled out my bench pin. But if I'm going to be a good instructor, I would instruct you to take out your bench pin. Okay. So I'm looking to see how far the notches are. This one is really nice. This one needs a little bit more. This one definitely needs more. And this one, yeah, they all need a little more. Okay. So it's going to take a little time. And notice I'm just being really, really gentle about it. I'm not being crazy about it because I don't want to saw all the way through and then have to resolder a new prong on here, right? That would just be bad. And make sure that you're even on both sides of the prong, not just one, because we do have a tendency to just saw a little bit heavier on one end than the other. That's a very common mistake. And notice I don't have a blade on the back side, so I'm not worried about what this is touching at this point, because it's not going to saw anything except where I'm telling it to. And so another trick here too, if you notice, I put the saw blade behind this prong, because if I put it on top of it, I might saw both of them. So I'm putting it behind it so that it doesn't saw. Oops. Well, I say that, now I'm going to have to switch out because it's not going where I want to go. But try to put it behind another prong so then it only saws where you want it to saw, right? Okay, so this first one is being a bear. There we go. Oh, and there I did it. I broke it off. I am going to have to resolder this. Okay. Oh, sigh. All right, hold on. I'm going to turn. I didn't think I was going to have to do this. I'm going to have to turn on the other torch. Be right back. But I did turn on the pickle, though. Okay. Well, you know what that means? That means I got to do this whole polish thing again, but everything else is solid. Oh, I can't even believe that fell off. Let's see. What is your story? Oh, well. No use in crying over spilled milk, right? It is what it is. I know, you guys like it when I make it. When these things happen to me, it makes you all feel normal. I'm glad I could be there for you. All right, let's see. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Okay, a little bit of solder. Teeny weeny, little bit of solder. Depends on who spilled the milk, eh? Well, we know who spilled the milk today. So the question is, am I finished sawing? Yeah, I'm finished sawing. And, well, let's see. Actually, it's a really good question. Hold on. I should probably make sure that this is all good. I'm going to take the solder off. Put more solder on later. But that's a really good question. It's a really good point, Pam, asking if I had finished sawing. Because you know what? This could use a little bit more. Why stop there? So let's do it this way. It's easier. Right? So why not go ahead and finish notching that prong, because we know it's in the right spot, and hopefully I'm going to be able to solder it right back to the right spot. But again, let's help ourselves with some tools. How about put it on a pair of pliers? Oh, that one's not going to work. Not working there. Let's try a different pair here. Let's go with the parallel pliers. Parallel pliers are considered hand vices. So maybe that will grip it a little bit better for me. Okay, there we are. Okay, maybe not. Golly. Struggling. What? So with one missing, okay, so I get the question why you asked if I had finished sawing, because with one missing, the other pieces would be easier to saw. And yes, there is a point to that. But all the other pieces are done at this point. That's a good point, though. There we go. See, it's about finding the right tool. So I've got my bent nose in here at this point. It's working quite well. so funny how it's taking forever to saw this. I think my blade is officially dead. I'm gonna finish this and I'm gonna toss this blade. Should do. Again, don't know why this one is struggling so much. What the heck? All right, I give. Let's solder it already. Okay, get some more. Oops. Go this way. Get some more solder in here. We just need a teeny weeny little bit. I know, I'm scraping bottom here today. Don't need that much. Okay, there we are. Let's bring it back. Let's see. All right, let's see how the torch is doing. Are you ready to turn on? Yes, you are. Okay. Delicate. So what I'm doing is I'm having a hard time with my hands. I'm going to move out so you can see. I need something to hold my hand or else I'm going to be all over the place. So I'm trying to find, that's why I'm pushing the board around so I can find a spot for my hands to be. Did you do it? Nope, not quite. There we are. Okay. Okay, so I'm looking at the prong and it is churned a little bit too much. So I'm going to have to churn it back out. So I'm going to do a little reverse soldering here. Oops. And churn it out. There we go. Good. Okay. We'll leave the torch on. Quench and put it in pickle. Drop my mobile communication device with Andy. Okay, let's see. And of course we're going to have to rebrush this whole thing up again. Give it a second in the pickle. And then we are going to have to blacken it again because we torched it, which means it took all the patina off. And you know what? Now that I say that, I gotta go get some patina. Hold on. So if this was a drinking game today, the drinking word would be hold on. How many times have I said it? I don't know, but we'd all be drunk right about now if you were taking counts, if you were taking shots with every time I said hold on. You see, there was another 3 shots right there. But nobody's keeping count, right? I need a little more time there. Just a little bit more. All right, so then we'll brush it up again. We'll put some patina on it. Brush that up again. And then we're going to move the prongs over and set it in place and be done. So much for that quickie today, huh? I had to say it. So I guess the answer is 12. I've said it 12 times. Is that an entire bottle of scotch? I don't know. Okay, let's see. So hopefully, well, I say hopefully. So this week on Friday, we've got a Zoom along, and Zoom alongs are free Zooms with purchase of kit, and we're doing balancing act this week. How to create an uneven pendant and still have it balance on your neck. You know, asymmetrical type of look. So it's always a lesson. Let's see what we're doing here. So everything's nice and notched. We'll clean it up again. This one was working well for me, so we're going to go with this one. Hit those little corners. And it really shouldn't take much to bring it back up because we've already done a good deal of polishing on it. So you're just really removing the white oxide that's on there. Okay, let's patina that top again. And I'm using Black Max, it's my favorite, on silver. Make sure you rinse it really well. Anytime you use an oxidant, you want to make sure that you rinse it and neutralize it, or else it's going to continue to eat your metal. So recently I saw a discussion online regarding silver cleaner. And since I'm sitting here just doing this, let's talk about it for a second. A lot of people ask about silver cleaner and how to clean your silver. Well, you know, as jewelers, we've got all kinds of things we could be cleaning our jewelry with, right? We have our brushes, we have our buffing pads, and we have our polish. So you really shouldn't be thinking about quote unquote cleaners, especially the kind that you find at the drugstore. You know, the dips. So the discussion online had gone to dips. You know, oh, there's this dip and there's that dip. Let me just tell you, you don't want to use a dip on anything. Here's why. Those dips are acid, okay? It's a type of acid, and it's basically eating at your metal. And what it does is it creates pits in your silver that will never come back. You're going to have to sit there and sand the stuff down and then start a total resurfacing if you want that to stop. Because what happens is when you use that dip, and now that you've etched the surface of your metal, it's actually going to get tarnished more quickly, and then you're just going to have to keep doing it again and again, and basically you're ruining the silver. So there's a lot of other product out there that are cleaners that are not acids. So that's what you want to look for if you really want to go after a jewelry cleaner, right? They're not, go for the non-toxic types. Those are very benign and they don't do much to your silver. So be careful out there of what you use. But you know what? I hate to say it. I know you're not gonna like this one, but an old toothbrush with toothpaste works really well. It's a thing. Okay, so I'm using a Pro Polish pad because I just wanted to do a gentle cleanup on the top so that I can maintain the design. Okay, I didn't want to take all of it out. All right, so now we're nice and polished. Everybody's happy, supposedly. I'm gonna hit this a little harder. Pam, you can hit that a little harder. Okay, so now we're going to go in here and we're going to put this back in and we're going to bend this over. Yup. Is it in? Are we right? We're pretty close. Make sure you've got everything. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm checking to see that my prongs are in the right place, the notches are in the right place, so that I can bend this over. Like so. And I'm using a prong setting pliers. Are you going to go over for me? Please go over for me. Please go over for me. Good. So there we are. There's one. Come on. Let's go in the opposite direction. Might be a little bit better. I don't know. Okay, maybe not. I think this one needs a little bit different help here. There we go. There we are. Okay, so it's not wanting to move, which is great. I'm being really gentle here because I don't want A, to scratch anything, B, to crack anything. That would be bad too. What does it take to get it to, there it goes, to bend over? Okay. So, again, it's about how tight you can get this. We're getting there. A little at a time. We're getting there. And you need to just continue to look at your piece. It'll tell you what it needs. And don't be too aggressive. It's just little controlled moves. Okay. Just like so. Ah, that one went so nicely. So that one went so nicely. Now, can your other brothers play nice too? Okay. See, it's still moving just a little bit, and I don't want that. So I'm going to continue to work with the prongs I have here. To get them to clamp down. Just like so. Okay. Ah, yeah. See, it's not wanting to go anywhere. This is good. You see? It's not moving. When I do this, I know you guys can't tell, but I'm actually trying to pull it apart. Good, 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 good. Go. Oh, I'm so happy now. Yay. Okay, so now, actually this one, not so happy. See if I can push it down a little bit more. Okay. I'm also feeling it to make sure that there's nothing that's going to snag it. So now I want to go ahead and sort of sand a little tiny bit on the top of the on top of the prongs because they are a little bit rough. So what am I going to use for that? Let's see, what do we have? I think I'm going to use this. This is a bullet tip silicone sanding thing. Silicone sanding bullet, I guess you could say. And this one is fairly coarse. It's the black one. And I'm just going to hit the top here. I'm going to round it out just a little bit. Yeah, because it has a bit of a blunt, square cut to it. And I want to be able to just sort of hit it right there. I don't trust myself with a file because I don't want to, you know, the stone has a lot of undulations and it has a lot of edges, and I just don't want to hit the stone. Remember, it's not my stone. The things I worry about. Ugh. And it was a very expensive stone, so I don't want to ruin it. Okay. Let's pull out our nylon scratch brush and let's clean it up. See, what's nice about the nylon scratch brushes too is they can come right in there and clean this stuff up. If you have a blower, blowers are nice too. And there it is. Okay, I'm feeling for rough edges and snagging, but I really think it's in there. Now I'm gonna compel Pam, when you get this back, to just double check my work, right? Just because you can. Well, I know you will anyway, but I'm saying it out loud. Okay, just want a little bit more off of there. Again, I'm just feeling for smoothness. But that's it. This is us in a nutshell. Okay. Coolness. All right. That is it for me today. What was seemingly going down a bad road, I recovered myself. Woohoo! Are. You know, I have a little spot in here that's killing me. Let's see if I can get that out. A tiny little brass brush, maybe? Maybe not. Maybe. Oh, yeah. It's cleaning. Pam, Janet says you're lucky. I know you guys are on different platforms right now. Again, continue to feel your piece. Just check and make sure that you don't have any sharp edges. And, you know, when you're working and finishing your pieces, this is where the difference between you and another technician will be. So it's going to be in the finish. I always say that because it's really true. Okay. So there is the piece. And you're very welcome, Pam. So I'm glad you like it. You know, that's the best I came up with a nugget. So there is a suggestion for everybody, you know, maybe something you might be encountering in the future. But you know, what's really cool about, nice about something like this too, is I know a lot of you like to pick up rocks when you're traveling. I don't necessarily get that one, but okay, if you're compelled to pick up a rock from wherever it is, the shores of Italy or whatever, and you need to bring it home and set it, this is one way to do it. And again, I left it with an open back. It sort of looks like an eye, right? Just so we can see the interest in there. And sometimes, you know, rocks have interest on both sides, and it's nice to have a little window so that you can see the other side, right? We have another UFO coming up in a couple of weeks. We're going to do something completely different there because, yeah, it's going to be a big project, the next UFO. wrapping my head around that now. So remember, Balancing Act is this week. I just posted October schedule. Nothing going on, or I say nothing going on in October. A lot going on in October. We have Virtually Ever Crafting. If you haven't registered yet, you need to register like this week because kits are going out next week. And if you want your kits in time, you gotta register. So make sure you get on virtuallyevercrafting.com. And then we're doing a completely big departure at the end of October. And I'm going to tell you about it now. I know some of you guys saw it on the schedule and went, what? Are you kidding? No, I'm not kidding. So, yes, at the end of October, I believe it's October 30th, I think. Don't quote me on that. But it's a Saturday. It's the last Saturday of the month. I'm going to do a Zoom on how to make bagels. It's a thing. It's a total thing. You know, if you don't know about my previous work history, somewhere in there, I was actually a bencher at an artisan bread shop, local. And I would get up at like, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I would go and make bread. So I understand and know how this the technique works. And so over this past summer, I learned how to make bagels, and it turned out great. So let's have fun with it. And I'm going to do my second Zoom cooking class, and you're all welcome to join. Kits, I think I'm going to put together a kit. I haven't decided yet, and just to make it easy for everyone. But you know, stay tuned. And I'll keep you posted on how that's going to go. But that's what that's all about. So yes, we are actually going to make bagels. It wasn't a joke, and it wasn't a bagel pendant. Well, you could make a bagel pendant if you want to, but I don't want to know about it. All right, so the day is absolutely beautiful. I need to go sit out on my deck and enjoy some of that weather that's out there. And anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the week. I'll see some of you on Friday for the Zoom along. For the Zoom short. Other than that, I'll be back on Monday with a new series. I believe we're going to start from scrap. And we're just going to find projects to do from our scrap material. Let's find some inspiration. So do tune in, and I will see you then. In the meantime, thank you so much for everyone for hanging out